Good morning, adventurers. Wanted to give you an update on the game, and that is that the requirements for the mats to farm for 17, well, actually for all the voids have changed. And so even though A16 is unsealed, 17 is right on the heels. And so you look, there needs to be 4 more dragon essence. Not worried about the energy. That's pretty easy to farm with a few players. But the Omegas have dropped from 6,000 to 1,200, which is a huge drop. And of course, the Godlies remain the same. You still need 16 of those. And then the Ultimate Logs, which I think can be farmed relatively quickly. So I think what's going to happen is that even though we have a pretty large amount of time left on the Horse Festival, it does end at the 21st, and then you have an extra week until the 28th to spend the spoils of that. And so really from today, that's about 18 days. So I'm thinking that this 17 will unlock in the next 10 days. I think just based on the amount of donations I've seen, the people that are going to time travel. And so what I think you're going to see is people are going to speed this through. Once we start donating, and 17 even gets remotely close up here, you're going to see people rush their next TT to get into there because they're not going to want to miss the unsealing and the bulk of players that are going to be in there trying to defeat that dungeon. And so if you've not done 16, now is your time. Make that change. It's open for 15 days. Now, I've got the screen kind of maxed out here, and so what I'll do is I'll slide it over. And you can see that there's a dungeon server here, and this one right here is the Dungeon Nexus. Get into that server and get the invite for it, and that's where all of the channels happen. So I can tell you and show you on here. I'm just going to slide this over and come over here and look. It's 80K. Yeah, that's 80K if you don't do all the trades at A5. That's a whole other conversation. But what will happen is on the cooldown side here, it will actually show you all the people that are waiting for the D16 cooldown. So if you've not had an invite for that, go ahead and message me. I'll send you the invite for this server. If you're going to be doing the void areas, we need to get in there. What's also cool about this is on the void check, and again, I've got this screen maxed all the way out because I want you guys to be able to read all of this. So what will happen is in this channel, you'll see all of the donations for people that are dropping stuff to help open the areas, right? Let me scroll back a little bit more. So Witten, Lindorai, Edna, all of them are donating the Ultimate Logs and the Omegas, and this is the channel where it's kind of all tracked. And so if you scroll back down to the bottom, these are the materials left to open those areas up. So just want to explain how that worked and get everybody thinking about the void areas. Why are the void areas important? That's because you get extra time travels each time you go. So if you're over time travel like 60 or something like that, you should be thinking about these voids. You should be donating on here. You should be getting into these dungeons. Right now, every 5th TT that I do, I get an extra time travel. When 17 is completed, every 4 gives me an extra time travel. And then, of course, 18 is every 3, 19 is every 2, right? So you get it why it's important to get to here, because if you're not thinking in this vein of the extra time travels, every single extra time travel gives you more gear. It gives you, well, not it gives you more gear, but it gives you higher drops, the ability to create gear, the ability to donate. Just for instance, if I use the commands, and I'll go back over to the server here and show you, but like if I do a dynamite here and yeah, see I'm dropping 187 rubies every dynamite. So the time it takes me to farm and get further down and drop more mats and work on like stats and stuff is incredible. Also in 16 and 17, you're going to have to do a lot of cooking. And so when you're going to cook that, you need hundreds of millions of logs. So in D17, to prepare for that, you need to have 300 million logs to cook all the stats you need in order to go. So that level of farming. Now, of course, you're going to need ultimate log drops anyway. It's recommended, but if you do RPG Forge and then Void, you'll see why it's so crazy. Almost typoed there, buddy. Almost typoed. Here we go. So here we go. So you're going to need 8 ultimate logs, and you're going to need a basic sword to do the Void Sword. Now, you don't have to have the Void Sword in 16. You can do it with the Omega Sword. A lot of people do that, but if you're already there and you have the drops, you may as well just go ahead and make it. More importantly, it's to get this Void Armor. And to get the Void Armor, you got to farm 60 superfish, and that's really hard for folks that are only dropping like 10 or 15 per drop, because I think it took me 600 big boats to get my proc to get my superfish. But again, at time travel 170, I dropped 165 fish or something like that. So I was able to actually sell for 58 billion that armor, and then create another one and sell it again for another 58 billion. So that's the advantage of the higher TTs. But when you get up here, it takes an electronical sword, but you also have to use 12 omegas. Now the thing about these abyss gears is that you can fail on the craft, and then it's bye-bye 12 omegas and bye-bye 20 ultis. Now you need the sword for sure in 17. You don't have to have the armor, but the armor helps, right? So if it gives you an extra hit, it gives you a little bit more defense. It just creates a higher percent chance that you're going to be able to defeat that dragon. So again, get in these areas, start thinking about the voids, and if you have any questions, man, come right over here to, let me get this screen over, come right over here to this Dungeon Nexus, and you're going to come down to the void rooms and the area 16 and the area 17. So hopefully that helps you guys out. In the comments, if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks. Bye.